Good morning, my lovely fangs. Welcome back to the cavern. This is just an update, because I know I haven't talked to any of you for a while. Uh, I hope you're all doing well. This is probably going to be a little sad, but it's fine. So we did put my dog down, my dog Tigger. I would say a week ago. Uh, Now it's a little over that. We were able to find somebody that could do it at the house, which was much more comfortable for him. Uh, it's been hard. It's not been easy at all. That's kind of why I've been taking a hiatus. I'm grieving, just trying to adjust to a life without him. He's, as some of you know, I had cancer. I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer in 2019. It was a year of chemo, two different rounds of two different drugs, radiation, surgery, whole shebang. And it was not an easy or fun experience, to say the least. Tigger was my therapy dog through all of it. He always was there to cheer me up when I was having a really hard time with the drugs and the side effects. I was exhausted a lot, so he would sleep with me. He would curl up on the couch with me and sleep with me. And the chemo drugs had an adverse reaction to my body where it caused neuropathy, severe neuropathy, which is basically nerve damage. It destroyed, well, not really destroyed, but damaged my micro nerves, or the very tiny nerves, in my legs, feet, hands, arms, to where I don't feel anything. And it's a lot of pain. So having him around, I actually disabled because of it. But anyways, he was a big help with handling the new normal. So it's really difficult without him around. We had a very strong bond, which we formed when I was diagnosed. I threw everything away for my life. I put everything on hold, and then I couldn't go back to what I knew. I'm actually trying to start my own business, but that doesn't matter right now. I actually came to the decision to end his suffering because, so Thursday we did go to the vet. I didn't really disclose everything that happened at the vet. I'm not very pleased with what happened. And I will never, ever bring another dog to that vet office again because of this. So we brought him in. We got him in his wheelchair. We brought him in. Um, we told them everything that had been going on for the past month and a half. So some of you know in June that he hurt his hips. That's what we thought. We thought he just, bruised his hip. That's honestly what we thought. We didn't have the funds to bring him to a vet. Money was tight at that time. My husband just started a new job. So, you know how that goes. You don't get paid right away when you start a new job. And he seemed to have been doing pretty well. He wasn't limping or anything. He was moving around, he was walking, he wasn't having any issues. But then he fell again. And again, it seemed like he was okay, but, really, really sore because he, injured that same hip again. Uh, However, he started to go downhill from there. He stopped using his back legs. We'd have to lift him up to move him. Things like that. And unfortunately, Tigger didn't understand that he was older. He wasn't a young puppy anymore. Whereas our neighbor's dog is a puppy. They're only a year old, maybe 2 now. And because of that, Tigger would just go full tilt towards the fence to go see his buddy, our neighbor. And then they would just run along the fence constantly. And Tigger would never stop. No matter what you tried, you could yell at him, you could call him, you could do everything. Nothing worked to get his attention away from running along that fence or jumping off the stairs. There wasn't much we could do to prevent this from happening because, again, he didn't think like, I'm old now, I gotta take it easy. No. And it's not our neighbor's fault. I mean, what could they honestly do? At first, I did blame them. I will admit that, and that's part of the grieving process. Part of why I blame them is they heard us yelling for months before this happened about our dog. We would yell for our dog to, stop. We would chase after him, try to get him away from the fence. They heard us, but they never did anything. So that's part of it. That's part of why I blame them. I don't anymore, obvious, because Tigger, the thing with him is he would do this type of stuff when somebody was walking down the street. He just didn't think ahead, basically. But when we brought him to the vet, finally, after he just got progressively worse and we couldn't get a vet appointment sooner, unfortunately. I tried to get an appointment much sooner once we had a stable, income coming in. But unfortunately they were overbooked, so I couldn't get him in sooner. When we got there in his wheelchair, one of the doctors looked at him and started laughing at him in his wheelchair. That pissed me off right off the bat, because it's like, what the fuck? Why are you making fun of him? He's in bad shape and you're gonna laugh at him for what? Because it's a pink wheelchair? Who the fuck cares? It's a pink wheelchair. So what? It's just a fucking color, and it's what we could get. So he could be mobile. And he was getting better with the wheelchair. He was using his back legs in the wheelchair. I have videos of it I will be posting on Twitter at some point. Once it's not so hard to see him. I cry every time I see his photos. Right now, it's just, it hurts. Knowing what happened to him. Well, when the same vet that laughed at him saw him and evaluated, which she actually didn't do anything. I don't even know why we paid for the visit. She did absolutely nothing. So we thought that because of how fast he was deteriorating, we thought it was cancer, because he did have a lot of tumors. He had a lot of lumps, and some of them were getting hard. We did bring this up to the vets. They said it was nothing. Never did any tests on those. So we thought it was cancer. she just, you know, investigated him, listened to us, and said, it's just a spine injury. You'll have to see a neurologist because I can't, make any heads or tails of this. I'm not qualified to do that. My problem was she jumped to that but didn't take any x-rays to show that there was a spine injury. Nothing. Instead, she kept repeating that it was a spine injury, but she couldn't tell where the injury was. The other issue that we thought was that he had bloat. Because near the end, he wasn't eating. He was making this kind of weird noise when he breathed. When he stood up, when we had him up in the wheelchair, he kind of foamed at the mouth, made this like coughing, choking sound, which had all of us freaking out. He did do this before, but not like this. It was a little different. So sometimes he would do the reverse sneezing because something was irritating his throat. That's actually normal. Didn't do it all the time. But it was something that we heard before. But that's not what this was. It was a little similar to a reverse sneeze, but not the same thing. And we did bring that up, but she just disregarded that, didn't even acknowledge that issue. I was hoping for blood tests, to see if it was cancer, if it was anything. There was nothing done. Instead, she went from see a neurologist, which is very expensive, and you may not get in anytime soon. And immediately I was like, well, I don't want him to suffer like this anymore, especially since he was losing bladder control, which is just heartbreaking. So she went from neurologist to, well, you gotta look at his quality of life. How happy is he? And it's like, yes, I know that, but I really wanted answers. I wanted something to tell me that there was nothing that could be done. Absolutely nothing for my body. Because I wanted there to be something that could be done. And unfortunately, I got no answers. And she kept pushing for us to have him put to sleep there. Even though my first Doberman, Champ, who was 13 when he passed, he had wobblers. He was born with it. We brought him to the same vet. And they, because he couldn't walk, because the wobblers was so bad, it was horrible seeing him like that. They strapped him to a metal table. And I'm not exaggerating. They literally strapped him to a metal table. And that's how they put him to sleep. And I did not want that for another dog of mine to go through that, because Champ was terrified. And that was his last moments. Him terrified. That's not a way I want my buddy to go. My husband's dog, Zeke, was a German Shepherd. I forget what happened to him. I know he was having trouble walking too. I think he had hip dysplasia. But it was really bad. So my father-in-law decided to have the procedure done. And they only cared about the money. They kept asking constantly, are you ready to pay? Are you ready to pay? And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? We're here saying goodbye to a dear friend, and you have the nerve to keep asking if we're ready to pay? I hate vets. I really don't like them. I hate that they're all about the fucking money. And that's what it honestly seems like. I actually worked at a vet in high school. I didn't get paid because it was basically an internship for my trade, and that's basically how they treated the patients there too. All about money. They didn't give a fuck about the dogs or cats or any other animal that they saw. All they cared about was the money. And it really upsets me because, yeah, I understand they're just animals, but for a lot of us, they're more than just an animal. Tigger and Champ were close to me. Yeah, Champ wasn't as close. We didn't have that bond that Tigger and I had. Part of that was because I was a child when I had Champ. And the other part is my mother, who I don't really want to get into about my mother. But basically, she would use treats to gain Champ's love for her. She would let him do whatever he wanted and would reward him if he did something bad. She just didn't care as long as it would make him love her. That's all she cared about. So we didn't have that bond like I had with Tigger. Um, so I will admit that Tigger was a lot harder to lose for me. Not to say I didn't love Champ, I'm just saying um, the difference. But that is what I've noticed with the vet offices. Um, so I have been furious with the vet because they didn't take care of my buddy. They didn't care about him. It was just put him down and end it. Instead of, well, let's see what we can do. If there is something that's causing this. Instead of well, I'm assuming it's this and that's it. End of story. It's nothing else. This same vet, I don't like her at all. So Tigger had a lot of anxiety with people right from puppyhood, and we don't know why. I'm assuming it's the breeder. The breeder did something to him, and I don't know what, but he had a strong fear of men. But if anybody bull rushed him, like rushed towards him to pet him, he would get a little freaked out. We told the vets this. They put it in his notes, in his chart, everything. And we told them every time somebody new came in to see him. He's nervous around people. She didn't listen to us, this same vet that just jumped to, let's, put him down. Bull rushed him. He kind of barked and backed up. Like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you rushing towards me? I don't know you. Immediately, because he reacted like that, we need to muzzle him. And it's like no other vet here, even the men, have had to muzzle him because he's never done that to anyone but her. Dogs know. I'm sorry, but dogs know. So I wasn't pleased that he saw her and not the doctor that we chose for him. Especially since we booked the appointment in a month in advance. That really pissed me off that they chose her. The one that we did not like, and he didn't like and feel comfortable with. That really upset me. I know I made the right decision for him because at first, with his bladder control, it wasn't that bad. Like, he would have accidents, yes. But for the most part, we could get him outside and he would go, no problem. Friday morning, when I got up, I noticed his piddle pad was soaked. I mean, completely soaked. I'm glad it didn't go through, but that's not a way I want my buddy to be. That's not comfortable. That was when I made the decision that it was time to say goodbye. I'm glad that we did find people that care to come and see him. Originally, the place that we contacted was booked solid for the day, but they squeezed him in the evening because my husband went to work. But he was willing to come home at any time. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to have the procedure done that day, but I didn't want him to wait any longer. I didn't think that was fair to him to make him suffer a few more days when he wasn't getting any better. He was just getting worse. So I know I did the right call. I made the right call. I made the right decision for him. It wasn't easy, but I love how the people were. They took really good care of him. I'm so sorry. I'm getting like emotional, but it hasn't been easy. It's only been a little over a week since I've said goodbye. So it's understandable why I'm still grieving and upset by all of it. And one thing that has been kind of irritating for me lately is everyone has been asking if we are getting another one. Let me grieve. Please, just let me grieve. Yeah, the house is empty. I don't hear him anymore. I don't have my buddy to curl up with on the couch and watch shows and movies with. I don't have my buddy to go outside and walk around and, play with. But I'm not ready for another one. I know my husband was saying that it's been really difficult because on the weekends I sleep in. He's up early on the weekends. And they would always curl up on the couch together. Well, I slept in till 9:30. What am I talking about? I have insomnia, so I don't sleep very well. And it's actually been a lot worse now since Tigger's not around. And I will admit that when he was around, I got very little sleep. When he hurt himself from that moment, I didn't sleep. He kept me up all night long because he wanted me. I was his security blanket. I was his comfort. And he was mine. I mean, we kind of relied on each other for support. That's why it's been incredibly difficult. And my husband doesn't get to see him when he gets home or say goodbye in the morning like they always did. And my dog was really goofy. He did a lot of silly stuff. So it's going to take a lot of time. And I will say, I don't even know if I want another dog or two or whatever, just because I hate seeing them suffer near the end. I wish they went on their own, but it just doesn't happen. I've never heard anyone say, yeah, my dog fell asleep and they just didn't wake up this morning. They went peacefully. Never have I heard that. So it sucks. It sucks when one thing goes wrong and then their health just takes a plummet downhill. It's hard watching that. And having to be the one to make the call. You're taking it out of their hands, and I hate that. But I know we don't know what else to do. We can't communicate with them. We can't ask them, hey, How do you feel? What do you want us to do? Can't exactly ask that, unfortunately. You can actually hear my neighbor's dog, probably. Yeah, he's been looking for Diggy, but Tigger couldn't play with him anyways. I know neither one of them understood. I think it might have been a little easier if my neighbors chose a different type of fence, because my other neighbors, Tigger can see their dogs and he doesn't act the same at all. But because he can't see our neighbor's dog, yeah, they would just run along the fence because they couldn't see. They put one of those privacy fences up. Whereas our other neighbor didn't. They have this, I don't know what it is. It's not a chain links or chicken fence or any of that type of stuff. I don't know what it is, but we have a little metal fence. That's what we did for Tigger. We wish we did it sooner, to be honest. But that's what we did near the end. After our neighbor put their fence up, we put ours up. But yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on. I was gonna do a video last Friday, but I was not in the right mind to do it. So this Friday, hopefully I'm up to it. I'm gonna try and get back into doing videos. Friday, I will be reviewing They Them. And you know what? Let's do 2 movie reviews this week. Screw it. And I'll do Knock at the Cabin as well. Because both had to do with the woods, so why not? We'll just do that. If there's a movie you want me to review, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much to everyone on Twitter who might be seeing this for your condolences. I deeply appreciate it. And I'm sorry that I haven't been on. I'm not ignoring you. I have been seeing the tags and the comments and the messages. I'm just not ready to talk, really. I only did this because I don't want anybody freaking out and worrying about me. I am okay. I'm playing WoW. I have been playing WoW. I've been kind of just immersing myself in games. My husband got me the arcade joystick box thing. I actually can now play Mario Kart on the Switch. I have been playing that. I also got back into Killer Instinct, and that joystick is a godsend. I can play longer than I've ever been able to with a controller because controllers kill my hands after a long period of time, or actually short period, depending on the game. Fighting games, I couldn't play at all. It hurt so bad to play fighting games with the controllers. PlayStation or Xbox didn't matter. This Mario Kart was agonizing as well by the third, I would say the third lap, or not third lap, third course. My hands would be shot and it just wasn't fun. So this is a godsend. I might be getting back into fighting games and racing games with this. Some other games that actually hurt really bad is Devil May Cry, and I love Devil May Cry. I beat the first one a long time ago, and I was trying to play it, I want to say right before Radiation. I couldn't do it. I tried again after Radiation. No, it hurts so bad. So there are some games that I just can't play. Another game that kills me is Monster Hunter World for the PC. So I'm actually kind of glad that I can't play that anyways, because my PC doesn't let me. It doesn't like me. Still having issues with my PC, but at least I can play WoW and some other games, as you've known. So there are, upsides. It does suck finding what I can and can't do with the neuropathy, especially when there's something that I really want to do and then I find I can't do it. We actually bought me all kinds of craft stuff uh, when I was having a really hard time adjusting to this and accepting the fact that I am disabled. I hate that word. I went from able bodied to disabled and it just sucks. Really sucks. uh so I'm still having a hard time adjusting and it's been a few years. My cancer doctor actually said, I'm an oncologist. She's like, you're not having an easy time adjusting to the new normal. I was like, nope, I hate the new normal. Absolutely hate it. I will get used to it, obviously. It just takes time. I am a lot better now than I was a couple years ago with it. Especially since I found paint pouring. I love paint pouring. It's so relaxing, a lot of fun. I don't like getting messy and dirty, but I can't really feel, so it doesn't really matter to me anymore, I guess you could say. And the paint comes off really easy, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, that's pretty much what's been happening. I will be showing my new paint pour pieces probably this week. I'm gonna try and be on Twitter this week. And I will let you know when my pieces are up. I might be joining my dad's business because he wants to do frames and stuff, so it just makes kind of sense to put mine with his. Especially since he does furniture. I'm going to be doing home decor, so why not? It makes sense. But I'm hoping to also do fairs and bring my art pieces to fairs and allowing people to buy them there. It may not be this year because I don't have a lot made. I just started to. Probably next year. So some of you might actually see me, the real me. But you may never know who I am. Haha. No, I was kidding. I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now. I am still writing. I took a hiatus from that too. I actually stopped writing when Tigger's health went downhill because all of my attention and focus went to him. That's actually part of why I took June off as well. Because he got hurt. I wasn't sleeping. Yeah, that was his birthday too. When this all went down was right after his birthday. That's the hard part. I still have to go to the vet and drop off his meds, his medications. So somebody in need can use them. We're planning on donating his wheelchair. So if somebody, can't afford one for their disabled dog, they can have one, it helped him be mobile, at least, for a couple weeks. Yeah. Share whatever you want. If you lost a pet, I'm sure you can relate to the difficulty of it. Especially the first few weeks after the fact. And if there's something that helped you, feel free to share it. I am not going to deny that. Any type of support or help is much appreciated. I really do appreciate all of you. I'm going to keep busy, so you don't have to worry. I am going to keep busy. I'm planning on going back to the book that I was working on. I'm hoping that I can get it done by next month, especially with edits. I don't know though, because it's not finished, and then I have to edit, rewrite. That's part of the editing process is rewrites. I was hoping to have it done by October because it does revolve around Halloween, my book. I don't think it's going to happen though. If it's not finished to where I'm happy with it, it's not going to be out. I will let you know if it does get released. Once it's completely done, I'm going to wait until next year. I'm going to actually have it out in August. So there's plenty of time to hype the shit out of it and get people to buy it. I actually will also. I'm going to try a different publishing company as well. It'll put my book out there on more platforms than what I'm doing right now, which I think will really help. Depending on how it works out, I might do a video about it. So if any of you are writers, it might be helpful to hear about other options than just Amazon KDP, because that's what I'm using. So stay tuned for all of that and updates about that. I will, if it's done before, obviously next year, I will be working on my vampire novels. I think it's time I start working on those. They actually helped me through a lot of hard times in my life, so might be good. Might be good. That's actually usually how I cope. I write. I haven't this time around because music. I listen to music when I write. And that was one thing that Tigger loved was music. Absolutely loved it. The only thing he didn't like was really heavy, heavy stuff like Ice Nine, Kills, Motionless in White, In This Moment, things like that. Hated that type of music. Whereas I love that type of music, but it's okay. I like other genres as well. But now that I've ranted for 37 minutes and so sorry. I hope you have a good week. Again, thank you so much for all of your kind words and support. I do appreciate you all. I have been seeing everything. Don't think I have been ignoring everyone. I haven't. Reach out if you want. I will write back. So there's all of that. Comment if there's a topic you'd like me to delve into, look into, a movie you'd like me to review, a video game that you want me to review or play. I might be re-downloading Tekken, and my husband just bought me the newest Mortal Kombat and Injustice. I know I'm not a huge DC fan, for those of you that are wondering. Not a huge DC fan. But I love Harley. Harley, Ivy, and I was a huge Robin fan. Loved Robin. Who then became... Oh my gosh, I don't know what he was. Wasn't it Nightwing? I think that's what he was. Like, he became Nightwing. Wow, I'm so bad. Teen Titans, I was not a huge fan of, but I did like Raven. I thought she was so cool. So there are some DC characters that I do like. Cyborg was cool, too. So there's that. So there are some things that might be coming. Next week, I'm hoping to get back into doing gaming videos. I actually do have one that I did I think it was like the beginning of this month or last month, but I never uploaded it. And I don't know if I'm going to because I think Tigger's on it. It was Tiny Tina's Wonderland too. I was going to, but his health wasn't going very well, so I decided not to and spend time with him. I tried to spend as much time as I could with him because I didn't know how long he was going to have. So. Enough sad and doom and gloom. Again, I hope you all have a good week. I will see you Friday. I promise I will be on Friday, most likely. I'm planning on doing a memorial post on Twitter for Tigger next Monday. Memorial Monday is what I'm going to call it. And I'll show you tons of pictures that I have of Tigger and videos that I have. And that's pretty much what I'm planning. And maybe I'll even throw in some pictures of Champ. I don't really have many of Zeke, unfortunately. Not as many as I was hoping I would have, but it happens. We all have regrets. I actually regret that I don't have more videos of Tiggy. But I bid you adieu. I will see you soon. Take care until next time. Bye, everyone.